And we're going to start by, first of all, just rubbing your foot back and forwards on the ball. And you can work through the inside of the foot, you can work through the centre of the foot and the outside of the foot. So just kind of move around a little bit, and you might get different feedback in different places as you move the ball over the foot. And once you've done that a few times, we put the ball of the foot on, so where if I go like this, I can see the knuckles of my toes, and I push down. And as I push, I'm kind of trying to grab the ball, almost like I'm going to pick it up. So my toes wrap around it, grabbing the ball. And something that's quite nice to do when you're doing this one, just to add another sort of challenge or focus, is every time you push and you squeeze, think about first of all the big toe working, then the second toe just working, you know, gripping a little bit more, third toe, fourth, and the fifth. So each time you push, now the big toe, the second toe, the third toe, fourth toe, and fifth. Good. Then we're going to put the ball on the sole of the foot and we push down. So I'm just standing right on top of the ball. And as I do that, I want to feel and allow my foot to really spread out. It might be quite uncomfortable. The fascia is tight in the feet. That might be particularly uncomfortable for you. So just put less pressure on. If that's feeling okay, and you feel fairly confident with your balance, you can then take the other leg and step forward and back. Good. A few of those. Then we're going to place the heel on the ground and the forefoot goes on top of the ball. And then we're going to move the foot side to side. Allow it to come from the hip. We turn the sole of the foot in, then out. In and out. So again, this is the same movement we did with our hands, working the sole of the foot in and out. Inversion and eversion. We can then do that similar movement, but this time the heel goes on top of the ball and we ground through the forefoot. Then we move the ball side to side again. Again, allow the movement to come up through into the hip, side to side. And then finally, we're just going for this session, we're going to have the ball of the foot back on top of the ball and the heel in touch with the ground. And I'm just going to bend my knee so that the knee tracks towards that second toe, over the second toe. And it's like, can you see, it's a little bit bouncy. So this is nice when you have an air-filled ball. And this is where the bigger the ball, the more of a stretch you're going to feel. So you're going to feel it up into the lower leg, into your Achilles tendon and into the muscles in the lower leg. A nice release and a really nice preparation for the forces that we're going to put through them if you're going out running. Bending and releasing off. And then we're just going to take the ball away. Stand both in your leg, in both legs. Notice if one feels different to the other. Maybe bend and stretch the legs and notice if one feels different than the other. The leg you've moved or you've worked, released. How does that feel compared to the one that we haven't done yet? Good. So now, of course, we're going to do the other side. So we start by rubbing the ball over the soles of the foot. And do you know, even if you just did this, if you were that short of time, And just rolling the ball over the feet, you're going to start to get your sensory nerves, or your sensory nervous system to start communicating. So your brain goes, what's going on here? Stimulating the feet, and that's when you're going to get a little bit more from them. Okay, so they're waking them up, waking the feet up. Middle of the foot, outside of the foot. Good. Then we put the ball of the foot, so if I see my knuckles coming up, I'm going to push down. And as I push down, again, I want to grab the ball with my toes, just wrap the toes around it. Again, the size of the ball will make this feel different. The smaller the ball, the more intense this will feel. And then you can think about each toe just pushing a little harder than the others, working through the foot, out to your little toe. Each time you push down, pushing a little bit harder. Then we go on to the arch of the foot, so the ball's right in the centre. And again, don't sort of put all your weight on if it's painful. You'll build up to that. And this work can be done daily. In fact, I would highly recommend that you did something like this daily on your feet, so you can get and benefit from the long-term changes, because it is an accumulative thing. The more you do it, the longer the release the release and the movement in those joints will stay. Okay, if you're just doing it occasionally, yes, it feels great in that moment, but it will soon go back to the patterns or the tightnesses that you had before if you don't practice it regularly. So if you're feeling comfortable and balanced, you can step that foot forwards and backwards. Lovely. And then we're going to take it with the heel on the floor, and then the foot moves side to side, side to side, moving up from the hips, so just allow that whole movement to come up into the hip. Then we put the heel on the ball, the forefoot on the floor, and do the same thing. This time swinging the heel out. And then our final one, just the ball of the foot on, heel on the ground, and we're going to bend that knee to bring the knee over the foot, so towards or in line with that second toe. Bending and releasing. Brilliant. There we go. Notice how they feel different.